Hi everyone, Jeff here at VideoRay, and today I want to show you how you can enhance, splice, or even add images like a company logo to your video footage using free video editing software that's available on your control console. The software that we're going to be using is called kdenlive. To install the software, we need to connect to Wi-Fi. To connect to Wi-Fi, click the little caret in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, click on the settings icon. If Wi-Fi is not already highlighted, make sure it's highlighted. And where it says off, switch it to on. You'll see a list of available networks, select which one you want and enter in the proper credentials. We can close out of that screen. Next, we're gonna open up a terminal window. When the terminal window is open, you're going to type sudo apt install kdenlive. Press enter. You're going to be prompted to enter in a password. The default password for VideoRay control consoles is all lowercase VideoRay. You're not going to see any characters appear in the window while you type, so just trust that you typed it properly and press enter. You may be prompted with a question asking, do you want to continue? Press Y for yes, and then press enter. Now that our software is downloaded and installed, we can close out of the terminal window. It's suggested to turn off Wi-Fi after the installation process to avoid any issues with the communication of the system. To turn the Wi-Fi off, click the drop-down caret again, go to your settings, and where you see on right here, turn it to off. And we can close out of that window. Now we need to open up the program that we installed. To do that, you're going to go to the left-hand corner of your screen where the 9 dots are. This will display all your applications that you installed. If you don't see kdenlive like I do here in the list of apps, you can type in kdenlive in the search bar here and it should appear. So I'm going to go ahead and click kdenlive. So now that we have our program open, we need to import our video footage. To do that, you're going to navigate to the directory where you store your video footage. The default location for that is GSS logs. So I'm going to navigate to that folder. Select the video that you want to edit and then click and drag it into this window right here. So now that we have our footage imported, we need to bring it into our timeline. To do that, you click and drag it from this window here into our timeline, like so. You can scroll through your video footage by clicking on this caret and dragging it across the timeline. You can also play your footage by pressing spacebar. And if you'd like to stop playing, press spacebar again. So now that my footage is in my timeline and it's ready to go, the first thing I want to do is color correct it. So what we need to do to correct this is simply reintroduce red back into our image. How we do that is in our effects panel here. We're going to go to color correction. We can click the caret for our drop-down menu. Select RGB adjustment. We're going to click and drag that onto our footage in the timeline. Now we have our properties panel up here for that effect. And we have these sliders, RGB. Red, green, blue. And like I said, we're going to reintroduce red. So we're going to turn red all the way up. And we can already see there's a little bit more contrast in our image. We can eliminate some of those greens by turning down the green a little bit. And depending on your image, we may want to boost the blues or turn down the blues. What you do with your footage depends entirely on the footage you have. You might not be as far down in depth, so you might have more red already in your image and don't need to turn the reds all the way up. So once you're happy with your color correction, the next thing you may want to do is splice your video footage. You might want to do this in a situation where you have 6 hours of video footage recorded, but you only need to send a minute of it to a client. So how we splice the footage is you can use the slider here to navigate to the spot that you want to send to the client. Let's say right here. Next, you're gonna hit the scissors tool. We're gonna cut the footage in the timeline like so by left mouse clicking over it. So let's say I want the footage to end here. I'm gonna left mouse click with my scissors. Now I'm gonna go back to the cursor, highlight the parts of the clip that I don't want. For example here, I'm gonna press delete on the keyboard. And then the other part I'm gonna highlight and press delete. And now I'm left with just the footage that I want. If for whatever reason you mess up cutting up your footage, you can always press Ctrl-Z, which will undo what you did. So now that we have our footage color corrected and spliced, you might want to add a company logo to the footage. To add a company logo, navigate to the folder where your logo is stored. For me, it's in my downloads folder. Locate your logo and then click and drag it into this box like how we did in the beginning with our clip. We can close out of here. And again, we're going to click and drag our logo into the timeline. You also want to make sure that your logo spans the length of the clip. When you import your logo into the timeline, you might notice that it's too big. It takes up the whole screen. To adjust this, we're going to go to Crop and Transform. We're going to take the transform effect and then put it on our logo. When we do this, we have our properties panel here where we can adjust the size, opacity, rotation, X and Y coordinates of the image. An even simpler way is to just grab the corners here and just drag it to size it how you would like. Now to move the logo, click the center of the image and then drag it to where you would like it. So once we're happy with our edit, we need to export our footage. To export the footage, click on Render. And where it says Output File, we're going to specify where our clip will be saved. For me, I'm going to choose Downloads. And up here under Name, we can also rename it. I'm going to name it VR Footage. Hit Save. Next, we need to specify the file format. The standard file format for videos these days is MP4, so we're gonna select that. And once that's selected, we hit Render to File. Depending on the length of the clip, this may take a few minutes. So now our render is finished. We can close out of this window here. And if there's no more editing that needs to be done, we can close out of our program. You can save it if you want to come back to it and re-edit it if you'd like. I'm going to hit no in my particular case. And now we can navigate to the directory where we exported our video footage. Double click to play. I hope this video was helpful. My name is Jeff. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or you can email support@videoray.com.